Hey guys, Spets here again, and I'm going to be analyzing another League of Legends professional game. This time it's going to be in the NA LCS Spring Split 2015, and this is the semifinals of the playoffs between Cloud9 and Team Liquid. This is the final and deciding game for both teams, Game 5, and I find it really interesting. Even though it wasn't the greatest of games, there are some things that are very important that I want to highlight in this game, and without further ado, I'm just going to begin. So Vladimir ban, this blocks Quas and Phoenix out. Oh, quick bans. I'm just gonna let them finish out with the bans since they seem to be doing it quickly, and I'll talk about them afterwards. Okay, Urgot, and then what's the last one for Team Liquid? Okay, Corki. So let's go over these. Quas and Phoenix both are able to play Vladimir, though I don't think Vladimir is a good top laner since he can be abused quite well. I don't know how to say it, but he can be very vulnerable in a lane swap situation. But since both of them can play it, I think it's a good ban. Azir is to block out Phoenix. He did play a good Azir game in the series, and against the team comps that C9 are running, it's very hard to deal with. Urgot to block out Phoenix, even though he didn't play the greatest of Urgots, it's still something that you might not want flex pick, so like Phoenix or Piglet can play it. Nidalee to block out Meteos in the jungle. I don't know if Balls plays a top lane, but he used to be a really good Nidalee. Rumble for Balls, and Corki for high specifically because he played in mid role. But Sneaky is a really good Corki if you've ever watched him play Corki. He's very proficient in the champion, so it's a ban for both, but mainly for high because he's been playing it more. Okay, so Hecarim has been a very hotly contested pick throughout this whole series for both teams. They either pick or ban it. They just don't want it on the other team. That's usually what's been happening. Balls gets it, and I don't agree with the solution pick by Team Liquid. I do understand the Sejuani pick because she is very strong now with Cinderhulk. Her lockdown and damage overall is really good if you get past the weak early stages of the game. Lucian, I guess, is just like a takeaway from both Sneaky, but also something that Piglet's comfortable on. Not completely sure. I don't think it necessarily needs to be picked yet. Unless Team Liquid already knows the exact team comp they want. Let's see what C9 has in store. Let's move forward a bit. Okay, so quick lock-in of Gragas and Lissandra. Lissandra, you guys already know, has a lot of lockdown, a lot of decent damage, good initiate, so overall well-rounded. But she's very lacking in damage, so that's one thing that needs to be fixed in this team comp. They have a lot of engage. Gragas with his knockup, Gragas with his ultimate. It's a great displacement teamfight ability, and his Q is a slow overall, and his W is damage reduction. Right now with the Cinderhulk, he's very strong, like extremely hard to take down. So right now they're just lacking in damage. That's what they mainly need. Very good initiate and all-around team-fighting. I don't agree with this pick, and you'll see why later. If this is going to be a support Lulu, I can understand it. Lulu's versatile in where she can go. And I like the Maokai pick, but these three champions right here, they're very lacking in damage. Lulu can do decent damage, but she doesn't have the AP ratios that she used to. She doesn't have the cooldowns. She's not like an Azir in terms of damage or something like that. So they're going to be very lacking in damage. A lot of frontline and CC, but they need like a damage-focused other champion here. If this is a support Lulu, that is. But it isn't going to be one since I've already seen this. So right now, just looking at Cloud9's team, again, even better engage and initiate CC. They have disengage with Gragas ultimate and Nautilus, and what is it? Sneaky's ultimate is E as well. Nautilus's E helps with disengage. Not really, but just like as you're running away, it helps slow down everyone that's chasing you. Right now, really well-rounded team. And Xpecial's going to lock this in. I'm just going to let you guys know. I don't like it because, again, this is like a protect the carry comp, an 80 carry comp, without a hyper carry in your team. This isn't like Kog'Maw. This isn't a Vayne. It's just, right now, they're lacking on damage. Piglet either needs to go off or Phoenix has to have a really good game on Lulu. And he has shown that he's not the greatest of Lulus, and that's just, it doesn't play into his playstyle, that's all. So they're going to be lacking in damage. They need to get ahead quite early or make some really good plays in the mid game. Just going to lock that in. Not a great fan of it, but they can make it work if they just play it outright. It's just going to be very difficult. Let's fast forward to when the game starts.
This is again Phoenix on the Lulu. This is the only champion that we have seen from Phoenix that has not really shown.
Let's see.
High in CS in the mid lane. Different matchup this time around, but
looks like C9 is pinging on bottom river for some reason. Maybe they think they're going to invade.
that's good portal control. Dominate in good spirits even after last game.
Oh,
Got him.
twerks him with the dark side.
So just defensive positions by both teams right now.
Pretty aggressive in 70 countries around the world. We'll see if Meteos gets angry.
Okay, so very important right here. Piglet puts down a trinket ward just to scout out where C9 is going to be moving, and C9 kills it. This is very important for later. Just keep that in mind.
What's actually kind of
They put their own defensive ward just in case.
the biscuit upgrade went for a mana potion on Alistar. So, I mean, usually, since the biscuits give you instant.
Oh,
Yeah, that was one of the curses that we were talking about. Team Liquid looking to break this time around.
usually it's
Looks like Quas started saplings, and he's going to help Phoenix, yeah. Just wondering why he was standing there. It's really odd. I would imagine Maokai should get it. I mean, Lulu doesn't need the experience advantage against Lissandra. Especially seeing as how Hecarim, this is the first mistake the Team Liquid makes. Hecarim is doing it. He's doing his own camp. So he can get level 2, get some pots, ward maybe, and just be on his way. But Quas doesn't do that. He double jungles, which is fine. Knowing that there's no ward, Elimination walks in, and he knows that these two champions, especially Sapling with from Maokai and Sejuani only level 1, they can't do much. Dominate does have flash though, so that's good. He keeps it just in case. Gets level 2, jumps on Elimination. Doesn't really matter though. He doesn't have his E to consistently slow him. Elimination can just E and walk away. So he's just popping pots, being really annoying. This is why you don't start on your weak side of the map. The dual lane is on the bottom side for C9. They should not be starting it. This is actually greedy start. They can possibly 3-buff if they do this, but it's just kind of risky. Especially if the other team collapses on W. They do have a double jungle, which is safer. Right now, they should just leave. Right now, they should leave. Quas had to flash because he had Ignite on him. They have to leave. There's no reason in staying right now. They try to contest. Xpecial sees all this, like Nautilus just trying to solo man contest the jungle, and heads all the way down. But he wastes a lot of time heading down. Dominate does get it. Get the wolf, but it doesn't really matter. Even though Team Liquid collapses on C9 first, it doesn't matter. Sneaky comes up to help. High's on his way as well. And the reason, you'll see. Let's watch this all over again.
You only get 5 hard leash resets on those wolves.
Sneaky left lane as well, so he's not getting AD carries.
They focus so much on elimination.
They're gonna have to stick this fight, and they really want to come out with.
And Meteos is getting 3-man knockups. They have the AoE damage from Sneaky, AoE damage from High. They've wasted plenty of flashes. They can't do anything now. They have to run. And again, a knockup from Meteos. He played out this fight really well. And this is probably the worst case scenario for Team Liquid right now. They just lost 2 games and just gave up 3 kills. And the reason why this happened the way it did is because of the AoE damage and CC from C9, Sneaky's W and Q, High's Q, and let me see, the knockups especially from Meteos. Elimination is just spamming E's. And that's why you don't start on your weak side. Even though Alistar came in, they just have weaker champions right now. All while this is happening, Balls is farming, is up 12 CS, has a huge advantage on Quast right now. He does teleport. Meteos is trying to contest blue, and he probably can, seeing as how there's no vision for Team Liquid. But the really important thing is that Sneaky just like left lane for a little while, and he's only down 3 CS. Really? Piglet should be ahead. He should. There's no reason that Ball should be ahead of Piglet at this point.
Important camp for Sejuani.
As a disastrous and open as you can almost
Might back up. What it,
Crazy.
oh, he gets
And now they're even on farm.
stuck around. Could have stolen it.
Piglet didn't gain anything off of that.
Smite.
He'll go away with an 18.
So Quas is automatically behind, just because of that failed jungle fight.
Go for more. Just kidding. That was fun.
So right now Quas is trying to farm bot lane.
Didn't want to collapse back in for a while.
Let's get past this. You guys already saw it all.
Body slam from Meteos. That opened the door for elimination to get out.
It's this body slam that he gets at the end with the flash.
Yeah, just that AoE knockup. 2 AoE knockups on 3 people.
Body slam flash. Excuse me. It's way better to do body slam flash.
So this is exactly what Team Liquid should have done.
Marshall's trying to do it. He's saying, well, if you can do it.
Meteos, he knows he's on the weak side. He backs up.
I can take jungle camp too.
Looks like Meteos gives him a bit of room, but he knows his blue is not going anywhere.
He goes for wolves, smites it, and just to get vision is in a jungle. That was just a smart idea.
After that early victory of 3 kills, they're like, we're not taking any risks. Meteos is like, this blue buff's almost done.
So right now Klaus is quite far behind, but it's manageable. Like, he can still come back. The problem right now is the 3 kills on C9. They didn't go back. Most of the champions, except for mid lane, they didn't go back to buy. Mid lane and Meteos, he does have the AoE smite.
Yes, we're going to take our big victory in the early game.
But they're not so far behind that it's impossible to come back. It's just the things that happen
They need to play super cautiously like that.
in the next few minutes that really turns the tide of the battle. Right now, Sneaky's still freezing. Still freezing. He has no idea where Nautilus is. If he goes into lane thinking he can get some farm, he'll probably just get denied and killed. He doesn't have flash. He just can't stay in lane. He has to try to do something.
Because of a level 1.
Right now, Team Liquid is pushing while Sneaky is freezing. So Balls, even though he's getting harassed and his tower's losing health, he's gaining a lot of CS over Quas.
It's actually the perfect example of why you don't want to surrender early on in those scrims, because
He has a preemptive ward here. Quas is trying to get something done. He's level 4, which is, considering what's happened,
Amount to comeback. You chase the
it's not bad.
solo lane here. You get some early damage.
So they're just trying to fast push a tower. Right now,
have left, which is Piglet, the only person who wasn't involved in that 4v4 skirmish that took up so much time.
so right now the casters are talking about how like Piglet is the one that should be ahead. But he's 4 CS ahead. It means nothing. He's maybe a little bit of experience up, but C9 is going to trade Dragon for a
Bottom lane
top turret, which is fine.
by Sneaky this entire time. He's not shoving the wave. He's just pruning it.
It depends on what you're looking for. So they take the top tower, but the thing is, they don't let all these minions right here aren't dead. There's a cannon minion here.
By Sneaky.
Let me see if you could look at the minions. Okay, they should just let all these minions die. Back up. Just keep letting the minions die. Let as many waves die to the tower, because right now Quas is being denied bot side. So just keep denying Hecarim as well so he can at least stay even. He is behind, but don't, like, you'll see right after this. He gets farther and farther behind. You get the tower. This is what they shouldn't do. They should have let this wave die. They shouldn't have killed the tower. Let the wave die and let it push back to top side. They don't do that. They take this second wave, clear it, and give this whole wave to balls. Why are they doing this? Is there a reason? Do they think they can? Are they trying to push it to the second tower? Right now, either they take the second tower, or they don't push this wave. Because right now, balls is trying to. He's freezing. Express is trying to stop him, but it doesn't matter. He's freezing now. So this is a big problem. Team Liquid is putting so much of their resources on Piglet, but he's not even ahead. That's the thing. He's not even ahead. And they send him bottom to catch that wave instead of Quas, who's behind. They're kind of just sacrificing him at this point. Right now, it's not as big of a deal because it's 33 to 11, but over time, it's going to get worse and worse. Balls is just freezing. Quas can't do a thing. I mean, he does have that one ward, but he can't safely farm here. So Balls smartly just freezes it. Piglet's just farming bot side, that's fine. This is actually very good, very smart by Cloud9. Usually you see teams trading towers, but knowing that Quas is so far behind and that they can freeze, they can't really take towers with the team that they have. They have too many melee champions. They just can't like force down towers against the Hecarim right now. Piglet's just pushing it. Gives a huge wave. Doesn't try to freeze. Just fine, I guess, if he plans to push it. But he doesn't. Quas just gets farther and farther behind. He's just trying to take... He died almost to Raptors. So that one little mistake, just pushing that second wave, not letting their wave die to the tower, is putting Quas so far behind. And he even bought wards for his team. So right now he's playing like the role of a second support at this point.
Absolutely, it's time to shine. It's Team Liquid's time to prove everyone wrong, but we've heard in the past.
Quas comes up top side. He's lost so many minions though to his own wave. So he won't get like as much as he should have.
But because Cloud9 was able to reverse that momentum, is Piglet now in that we are ruined mindset? It doesn't look like it yet.
So right now you see that Piglet's basically even with Sneaky, despite him leaving lane. They put too much focus on Piglet. And you'll see as this game goes on, it gets much worse. Dominate's just trying to farm up, get his items. And one of the problems with Sejuani, and it's partly because of what happened in the level 1, but also just the nature of the champion. Needs time to scale. And since they already are behind because of that level 1, it makes it worse. Okay, so Quas, he's in a decent spot now to farm. But it's actually gonna start pushing back? I don't think so. I think it's gonna push towards Quas.
Quas is at a huge risk of dying at some point in this lane. Not only the level advantage, the fact that Balls has Ignite.
He doesn't have a warding, like enough vision as well to even farm this wave. And it might actually start pushing towards him again. So this is a problem. Dominate should at least get some ward coverage down, help him out.
Coming up right now, they've got the path laid out with vision as well. Deep wards already set up for him.
Yeah, it's gonna start pushing back. He's getting some minions here and there, but even though like right now Balls is just gonna be like, even though they got around the same amount of minions, Balls probably got more just because Quas couldn't farm fully. He just could farm with the saplings. The thing is, it's gonna keep pushing. He's gonna lose more and more.
Clean steal, Jack. Clean steal.
Just had to sneeze on it one last time. Oh, bottom lane sneaky. That's the ignite down on.
Knowing that he's gonna keep falling behind if this keeps happening, Quas tries to make a play bottom side.
Wait, okay, he did down the arcade.
And it's actually miraculous that he was able to do that. Good of him to do that though. Balls tries to make a counter play, and they're able to stop it. So that's very good by Team Liquid, trying to make get Quas back into the game. At this point, he's still behind. He's behind in levels, and maybe about even in farm, but
Pushing against him, the thing that Balls was freezing up there is he's not able to prune that CS properly. It will still be a giant wave that Balls
you see top side. Again, it's just like about minion wave management. He's gonna get most of this farm on top side. That is Balls.
More time because the teleport's definitely in favor. Quas was in base as he had all the time to look at the fight.
X special, knowing he needed to make a play, preemptively flashes there.
Good spell show by Sneaky, but it wasn't enough. He just died from the his ultimate and Q and sapling.
We know the finish of that one. Balls not being able to land.
So right now, Boss just freeze.
Special with the crowd control.
There's no teleport on Maokai. He can't make a play unless a laner of Cloud9 messes up somehow.
That happened from the early game is pretty much stagnant. The biggest lingering advantage is the Hecarim versus the
So basically double CS of
will just have to find ways to sneak farm or
Balls. I mean of Quas.
and Phoenix and hope those guys with the Lucian Lulu synergy can take it.
He does finally have a catalyst, so he can do at least something.
They might just get Lemon Nation. I don't think Sneaky's gonna be
Sustain up in lane,
He's there alone.
stuff like that.
Quickly activated. Dominate trying to be the catalyst.
Dominate's putting so much focus on bottom side for some reason. That's not really necessary. I don't know if it's like a communication problem, but
So they at least they got the ult
there's no reason to put so much focus on bottom side. He's already had.
in the bottom lane. So
They're putting way too much focus on Piglet. He's not a hyper carry. He's not a Kog'Maw. He's not a Vayne. And they're not even denying CS here. See, Sneaky gets that farm. They're not really thinking about this kind of stuff, but
After this turret trade,
unless they're gonna go for drag. If they get a dragon, it's worth it. But
Really strong move there for Team Liquid.
and Meteos smartly just keeps focusing on top side. Quas is getting farther and farther behind.
Able to keep their
All those minions on the tower are dying.
play bottom at the same time. So trade turrets. Nobody goes down, but coming out with the added benefits. Dragon is available.
Team Liquid could have done the same and still gotten dragon, most likely.
He can back off.
yeah, it should be going down. A little more control here from Cloud9.
So if this tower dies, Quas can have a chance of freezing.
That turret.
And knowing that Quas doesn't have flash, Meteos just doesn't hit it, but gets the flash and ult, and it's just there's nothing Quas can do.
Get a little bit more gold
She should have maybe stayed back here
during that fight as well.
and let the wave push to him. Maybe try to freeze. That could have been a possibility. That was a mistake by him.
flash to extend doesn't even land it perfectly, but he gets the distance to knock him back with
But he's just falling farther and farther behind. In team comp that they can't fall behind on. They need to scale. They need Piglet to be really far ahead, which he's not.
Sorry, jinxed it. Dominate.
Especially since Sneaky has an Avarice Blade. He's not as far behind. Actually, he's not even behind because of the kills and assists he has. So it doesn't really matter. Piglet's not going to carry this game.
Heads mid.
High, here, let me see what is High doing here.
would have been farther back, and he pays the price.
Yeah, sorry, jinxed it.
He ults.
Oh, looking to make a move of his own. Heads mid.
I don't know what he was doing. He wasn't going to kill him. I mean, Lulu still has ultimate. So I think it's just a problem. They stack their CC really well, so High can't use his claw. And he just dies. Yeah, he didn't have flash up there either.
Pressure cost him his life.
Still a mistake there. Just
Really, really out way quicker, cutting the
Overestimating his damage, maybe.
Cloud9 though, gonna defend the turret.
Great collapse there by Team Liquid.
So Quas should really just go topside right now.
Engagement, but
His TP is up soon.
see if they can keep working these though. Cloud9
He's gonna start pushing back. It might.
is after these kills that Team Liquid's able to get. Just that bottom turret now and top turret for them as they're
So, yeah, I don't think. Okay, he's going bot side, so he's gonna catch that wave, but
To 44.
Almost triple.
Top lane CS.
Another wave and Hecker could be triple.
I wonder if it would have been possible to catch that wave at turret and freeze it.
You look at the mid lane of the AD carry
Top side for Quas.
of Team Liquid, and Maokai, while he does need to be a tank line, is not completely core to this Team Liquid team composition. We talk about what
So he's extremely far behind now.
they had that one game where Phoenix and Quas were the priority, but when they are successful,
And Piglet pushes out that wave top.
it is a Piglet priority.
It's gonna start going towards Tech Room again. So just like
Have a large tank line, a lot of crowd control. Maokai can add to that crowd control. And
something that some things that shouldn't be happening that can be prevented.
still in it.
Well, right now, the top lane is once again pushing towards Cloud9, and Balls is headed up that way. So this is going to be an interesting choice. Does he continue to freeze it and deny CS? I feel like he should, and have the rest of Cloud9 just ward defensively and take the extra lane of farm and experience
At this point, Quas is just
as you can,
so afraid to farm,
because look who's
even on bottom side.
now. It's Piglet. He's actually the one.
He doesn't have very much vision in bottom river. I wonder where's the special. Where's wards? He has one in top river, one in bottom river, one in blue buff.
Is down bottom, soaking up
They need more forward wards, not like their own jungle wards. They have like, if you look at right here, they have so many of their wards right here. 3 of them like in this area that are not needed. This is a pink ward, I'm pretty sure.
Where the Hecker was
But these other ones are not necessary.
200 to 1
They should switch them up to be forward so Quas can farm more safely.
more lopsided than that.
It looks like he's just farming with saplings right now because his CS is just falling farther and farther behind.
do when you're faced with that problem when you're Team Liquid is you have to force the issue somewhere else on the map. Right now, they're trying to do it mid, but I don't see that working against Gragas, Lissandra.
Yeah, I think it's a problem with the early advantage that Cloud9 got and
Up 3 lanes versus
the way in which they're playing this out. Like the team comp is not
having to deal with
great either, so everything is working against them.
Really hurting them.
Balls doing everything to farm that out. Looking back, what could Team Liquid actually have done different to get that lane in their favor? So it's not just crushing into Balls all the time. He's getting all that free farm.
A lot of this has to do with the level 1. It goes that far back only because he's so
Yeah.
much weaker than Balls. He can never shove out that lane 1v1 at this point. Right now,
So now Balls is a Triforce.
farm to Lucian. Cut your losses. Quas will not be affected
The other lanes are slightly ahead in CS, Lulu and Lucian,
by what they're doing.
compared to C9, but it doesn't matter because of the
Sure, he's definitely not going to go
early kills that C9 got.
Right.
So it actually makes it so
suicidal.
C9 is ahead in those lanes as well.
Might stack it by the time the game's over.
Continue to give Quas some of this garbage farm down in the bottom lane. If Team Liquid does not get the turret off of this,
There's gold in them darn minions, chat.
So they need to wait it out, maybe scale up. I think that's the only thing Team Liquid can do at this point. But even then, there are some really strong champions on the side of C9.
Like you were saying, they are giving all that to Quas, trying to make him
Piglet won't be able to do enough damage. And right here, I don't understand this build
himself.
by Piglet. He goes Ghostblade before IE. What the heck is he doing?
Might stack it by the time
When did he get that?
Lucian, he can never shove out that lane.
crushing,
I don't agree with this build.
getting all that free farm. That out. Looking back,
Liquid are
Wow, he got that really
Liquid does not
got that a while ago. Yeah, I don't agree with that build. He's not going to be doing much damage.
gonna be clearing up the
Dragon is coming.
they can make it not about Hecker.
It's good for like kiting and like
Hecker will win.
having a burst of damage, but
Majority of Cloud9's advantage.
IE would just be better overall.
Anything about
Still no
top
home-
laners.
Still no home guard.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Still,
So let's just look at the gold differences. Jungle, there's 500 gold difference, but I mean it's expected with how many assists Medios got and how many and he got a kill as well. Slightly ahead in farm. Mid lane, about the same, so that's not a problem. Lulu scales up in utility anyway, as opposed to damage. Bot lane is ahead for Sneaky. So, like, this whole time, like, Piglet should have been ahead, seeing as how they should have been able to deny farm bot lane when they pushed him out. Dominate put so much attention there, but they weren't. They just took the tower really quick, and then Sneaky got all that farm regardless. He didn't die to the turret. And he's even behind in farm now. This like should not be happening. There's so much focus on his lane, and they're just not playing it out well. They're not using lane. They're not managing the minion waves as well as they should. At this point, Balls is 100 farm up on Quas, so it's very problematic. Right now, what level is he? He's 2 levels ahead of him. So he's the highest level in the game right now. It's because he's been... Whoa. Okay, I gotta watch that. So right now C9 has nothing to stop them. So Sivir ult, and they just go in. Special maybe could have just like headbutt pulverized someone to counter initiate, but he just uses his pulverize on one person on high who had already used his ultimate. No, he hasn't. Okay, it doesn't matter though. Quas dies much earlier than he should have because he just doesn't have the farm. And Balls is just a monster right now. They can't focus him. Piglet is in a position where he can't. He has to flash over the wall to do damage. Maybe if he was there earlier, even then, like his build isn't the greatest at this point. He needs some like high damage crits, and IE is the only thing that could help him with that. Ghostblade isn't enough. Ghostblade is more about like ability damage. So just the AoE. 1-man knockup by Special. I don't like that. He needs to disrupt more people with the knockup. Who did he get the ultimates on? Okay, so right here, all the tanky champions are in the middle, while Sneaky and High are on the outside doing damage. This is perfect for them. Right here is where Piglet's going to come in. He's not even in the fight. So right now, there's a complete lack of damage. There's only, where is he? Phoenix trying to do damage as Lulu. Not a high damage threat. Yeah. It was just a fight that C9 picked and Team Liquid wasn't ready for. At this point, things are just snowballing out of control. And Hecarim got a ton of kills in that fight. So things are going to become even more problematic. So at this point, like... Wait, one moment. You gotta see this. What happened there? Okay, so how did he get caught, though? Walks into river. I think he face checked the brush up top side. Just barely gets away with the Z. Ults himself, which is good. He's trying to hold off as long as possible. Dies. He can't do anything about that. Balls comes in. He's extremely powerful at this point. I think he has a frozen heart right now. So far ahead in items. They just disengage. So that was good. That was a good pick by Team Liquid. That's what they need to do. They need to try to do something. They can't win team fights. They need to kill people that are off by themselves. Once High gets an hourglass, though, it's gonna be much harder to do that.
Let's see if he squanders it, because right now multiple people headed up top lane. I feel like it would take 3 people, 2
So right now, Quas needs to try to get maybe like some armor. He's just so behind in items though. And gold, I mean. After like the early level things that happen, Quas has just been trying to support his team. And playing like basically playing the role of a second support. Which Maokai he can't do. He needs to be a frontline tank in this team. Let's fast forward. Nothing too much happening.
A mistake because Team Liquid's team, they were not building this team trying to come up with picks. They're building this team for team fight.
They're struggling to even get vision at this point.
They've got this crazy front line, and they can set up their battle lines. Everybody's in their place, and they can have a standard fight.
See every portion of the map that Cloud9 can enter their jungle. Right now, they know about this.
So this isn't the greatest game. Wait. So they're just denying vision. This isn't the greatest game to look at just simply because it did snowball so hard. But it's a good game to look at. To, how do I say this? To look at how to keep a lead and finish it out. Like, unless something happened, like unless C9 did something to mess up, they should win this game. That's just like how it is.
Picking on Maokai. May as well. Cloud9 closer.
That's why C9 is so good. Usually when they have a lead, they'll never lose.
LCS split final.
Or almost never lose, because they have lost in some occasions.
Team Liquid, but they have come storming back in this.
And right now, look at how Sneaky is ahead in farm of Piglet. There's no reason that should be happening.
Game picking up 3 kills. Team Liquid
That's just a thing with Piglet having to have, just being able to farm. He had a free lane for most of the game.
Moments I think anybody's been in that plays a game. When you're losing that game, you need to win. Any play that goes bad hits your mentality so hard. You didn't want.
Yeah, they're trying to maybe try to pressure his mid tower, but it's not happening.
Still not afraid to kind of get some pressure.
C9 is just ready.
Of C9. Hopefully it pays off for him.
So right now, Quas needs to try to farm waves somewhere. He can't just wait.
Get some pressure into.
Okay, I see what he's trying to do. He's trying to make some plays, which is fine, because they do need him for picks. He's the one with the righteous glory, and his W will help. Piglet had to. Okay, so we have to look at that slowly. So right now, Quas, righteous glories, tries to initiate. See, look at High right here, and Sneaky right here. High goes in for the counter initiate. Piglet has to ult out. I mean, flash out because of how. Where is he? Where is Lemonation? Lemonation ults him, and High was coming in. So he had to get out. There was no way around it. Even Meteos goes after him. So he's completely zoned out of the fight due to 3 ultimates. High ults Phoenix, the other damage threat. He's forced to ult himself. Quas is on Sneaky. This is good. They're trying to do something. But at this point, Balls is too strong. And he doesn't care. He just runs through, presses Q, and kills stuff. Yeah. At this point, it's just snowballing out of control. They can't do anything. Meteos tries to smite Wolves to get a heal, but that's not a big deal. Meteos did his job after the initial ultimates came through. Zoned the only damage threat on the team, which is Piglet. And that's the problem with the team comp, but also like the lead that C9 has.
For these teams right now, as well as the farm levels, Piglet goes down to Meteos. Sneaky takes it up and cleans the fight.
At this point, though, the Gragas.
Yeah.
Damage Gragas, and the Cinder Hulk burn is going to be enough to take down AD carry.
Yeah, he just kills him.
Oh wow. Okay, so he flash ease him. Yeah, Piglet. There was a lot of things were pointed at him. Like a lot of resources were on him. During that fight. Meteos misses the E, but he couldn't do anything. That's the problem with one carry threats, one carry teams. You kill that one carry, what is the rest of the team going to do? They can't do any damage. You just roll over them. Even with like full tanks, the base damage is enough. And Hecarim has a Triforce, so Sneaky stay. I think did Sneaky stay alive during that fight? Yeah, it looks like, yeah. They did try to dive sneaky, but they just were too far behind.
So have to just say,
Ball's getting even farther ahead.
team with Sneaky has revolved.
Strength of Hecarim.
But this game it's going more
Even when like even or slightly behind, Hecarim is just really powerful. But
early on in
the fact that he's ahead and by so much is
the Now the Sivir ult,
it's just
the options for Team
they can't stop him.
shrinking ever more.
They need to pick him off or pick someone off on the team before they group, and C9 is not going to let that happen. Especially since it's game 5.
Hit by that anchor. Want to be there, and he can kind of do the same thing and be very disruptive.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, okay, so Balls pressures top lane while the rest of C9 take Dragon. So this is important. They have to choose either to stop top lane or stop the Dragon. They don't do either.
Stand in the way, you don't want to be there, and he can kind of do the same thing and be very disruptive.
Balls sees the fight starting, teleports in on the right, and just the initiate and the strength of the initiate on C9 is really strong. Let's look at that little by little though.
He can kind of do the same thing and be very disruptive.
Oh, there it is.
Okay, Righteous Glory by, it looks like, did they use Righteous Glory? Yeah, by Medios.
Just on the edge there. I'm pretty sure Pix got hit.
Gets Phoenix. Phoenix is forced to ult himself. Piglet is getting,
Getting out the wild.
oh god, that's bad. Yeah,
They're gonna try to keep this fight.
he's diving. Balls is diving Piglet, 3v1ing,
He can still take down.
and still gets the kill.
Takes him in for lunch. Medios going to be helpful.
And gets out.
Sneaky. Balls gets out alone.
Yeah, okay, at this point the game is over. Nothing else that to really say.
Take him down.
Lead.
Flying in at the start. They actually locked down a tank, which
Phoenix and Piglet have to be on the same like area so Phoenix can ult him. Yeah, he's just too strong at this point. Balls can just split push by himself.
Lead they've given themselves here in this game, and it's
C9 can collapse on his lane, take that tower.
from such falter in the first game and back and forth. The Sneaky diving into a dragon fight alone. We were
Here to
They should get this tower. There's no reason they should
get in their head either.
not be able to get it. Okay, they get that.
They can
At this point, it's just a matter of ending it.
Cloud9.
decide to do a dive with the second cannon minion soon to be arriving, as well as the turret to go down to a couple of shots from Sneaky. This may be Team Liquid's last stand.
He goes down.
And they just initiate on the tower.
Flies to the back
Their team can't do anything. Balls is a monster.
immediately, but they gotta watch out for the Nexus turrets.
He still isn't dead.
Medios is now under it, but there's
Yeah.
a clean house.
They didn't even need to really try on that tower dive. They're just so far ahead.
They're gonna be
Nexus is a
Okay, so things to look at in this game: the 3-man kill, or the three deaths on Team Liquid in the beginning, were partly because of the champions that they had. They just had really weak early game champions. Alistar's really weak. Sejuani's really weak. Lulu's okay, but she's not gonna make like a huge difference. Her Q isn't enough, and he was just like in a position where he had to flash over the wall to do anything. And it was mainly because of, I would say, Medios and his 3-man knockup. So that 3-man death is a big problem. That being said, they should have at that point they were behind, but they should have managed waves in a way that would allow Quas to farm. What they did was they pushed top tower, C9 traded for bottom tower, and kept the wave frozen at bottom side. Because Quas died in that level 1, he was so far behind. He did try to make a play and then took top tower, but because they didn't let the minions die to the tower, it didn't push back. It just pushed into balls, and he got extremely far ahead. That's one problem. Then at that point, Quas couldn't 1v1 him. So they should at least do something to help him. Instead, Dominate focused really hard on bottom side, but he didn't deny Sneaky any farm as a result. They pushed down that tower and got a dragon, but they could have also denied Sneaky a whole wave, made it even push back to them if they just did it well. If they took the time to let it push back, they could have given Quas that farm maybe, and then sent, after the dragon, sent the dual lane top side, and they would have been fine. Quas might have been actually relevant in this game. He did try to make a play early on, but it wasn't possible. And you might say, oh, he doesn't need as much farm, he's Maokai, but as a front line, you need that farm. to just survive, period, and make an effect on the game. That's one of the problems. The other problem is the champ select problem, where they had a protected carry comp with a Lucian who went a mid-game damage build. So it all comes down to the early deaths. I feel like Piglet did that because he needed that spike in damage mid-game so he can make an effect on team fights and maybe try to come back. So I understand what he was trying to do. But Lucian was just the wrong AD carry in that composition. They don't have enough damage. They either need a different mid laner or a stronger hyper carry. Like a Kog'Maw would have been great. He actually did really well on Kog'Maw in earlier on in the series, I'm pretty sure. He played the Kog'Maw really well, but they just picked it too early, I think, so that kind of pigeonholed them into this composition, and that 3-man level 1 was just the end of it, in my opinion. So long as C9 didn't do anything stupid, they wouldn't win that. They even gave up a few kills, like Sneaky died bottom lane, and High died mid lane a couple times, but that wasn't enough. Quas is too far behind, and they just didn't have enough damage. They could just focus on armor and be unkillable, basically. Look at the armor on Balls. He has a Frozen Heart and a Thorn Mail. Meteos has a Warden's Mail and Ninja Tabi. It's just impossible at that point. So it just snowballed out of control due to like certain wave management mistakes and at level 1, obviously. Good game by Cloud9. Good pick ban phase. I would say a lot of it came down to pick ban by TL, and obviously, like I can't undermine the fact that level 1 just screwed them over too much, so they couldn't come back. So hopefully they fix some of these issues in their. I think it's the losers bracket game, since this is like a tournament format. They're gonna play against TIP. If they do a composition like this, which is fine, it can work if they have either a different mid laner or a different AD carry. One or the other has to switch to make this work, and it could be a very strong comp. Also, not starting on the weak side of the map unless you plan to fight them, or just back up, sacrifice the blue, get your red, and then go to their blue. Unless they decide to go blue to blue, you'll be able to get it and you'll be fine. So just some adaptation mistakes is why I think they were a little on tilt. So overall, good game by C9. Good luck to TL in their next game, and to C9 as well. But I think it was an interesting game. Something that you guys should look at. I'm gonna put the games that I think are most interesting in this series below. I think game 3 and 4 were probably the most interesting out of the whole series, just because of the adaptations that C9 makes, and put those down below. And if you guys want to watch the whole series, you're welcome to. And besides that, I don't have really anything else to say. Thanks again for watching this, guys. Hopefully you liked it, and I'll see you guys next time.